and he's helped us create some of the most powerful real estate platforms that I have seen. And I mean coast to coast because I have traveled this country. I've mentored, I've worked with investors. I had a partner, we worked for a national seminar company. We used to do presentations with hundreds of people in the room. They were all real estate investors. And there was always technology, but nothing like we have. And that's really magic when it comes to the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you talk about that a little bit more and how it sets you apart?
Absolutely. One of the things, so whether I'm doing commercial or residential, Um, I have a few platforms that we utilize for that. One of them is my online transparent offer platform, and that one is a key. That's a key. That's my golden nugget, if you will. That one it takes my business to the next level. When I started to implement that, I could really focus on controlling what I do and who I do it with. Right? You don't want to do deals out of desperation.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pro Show. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm thrilled to be joined by Joe Militello, a heavy hitter in real estate investing, and he's been crushing it. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Erica. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. So let's jump right in, Joe. For those who don't know you yet, give us the rundown. How did you get started in real estate?
Real estate, I started very young, took a lot of bumps and bruises, as you can imagine, because there's always that learning curve when you start the real estate business. But I was kind of fortunate because when I came into the industry, I started with a company or a broker who was an investor himself. He was a land developer, and he took a different approach when he trained us on the real estate industry. It wasn't so much the A to B typical process of just listing and selling. It was how to structure a deal, how to get creative, how to put deals together that, your average agent in the industry is not doing because they don't have that niche, if you will. So it was really, it was just a big opportunity for me. Once I got involved, it caught me. I mean, it captured my interest. I was doing the construction thing before that, and it just took off for me, and I never looked back. I've been doing it ever since.
That's awesome. And when you got started off, Joe, was there something early in the journey that, you still do today?
Ooh, that I still do? Not really. I wouldn't think so. In the beginning, I've been here for a while, so I've seen a lot of the new technology come in. The technology that the new agents have today, I mean, is far more than we ever could have dreamed of. I think we still had beepers when I started the business. So, I mean, the consistency is key.
Mhm.
Really, what I've taken out of everything is consistency. Whether you're an agent or a buyer or a wholesaler, it really doesn't matter. You have to be consistent and create systems. You have to be systematized. Be consistent with systems, and I think that creates that's a game-winning formula, really.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any tips for our listeners when it comes to getting those systems in place?
It's a funny that's a good question because honestly, it really takes people that have that dedication. A lot of people get involved. Like agents will come into the industry and they will only last a year or two, and then they disappear because they don't really understand what type of business it is. On the surface, it might look like one thing to them, but once they get involved with it, it might change their opinion at that point.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I would give the advice of make sure if you were to come into the industry that you really know who you're getting involved with. That's key right now because what I see in the business is they're bringing agents in, they're not giving them proper training, or they're not giving them a focus on maybe like a niche, right? They want to, are you going to be commercial, residential? You're going to work with investors, just homeowners, whatever that niche is. It should have a kind of a laser point focus, if you will, and have the resources for that new agent to be able to grab hold of and take that somewhere. They have to have a direction.
Yeah, speaking of having a direction, where is that with you? What's your main focus these days?
Well, I've been in the business a long time, so a lot of business comes in as referrals to me. But I'm building out my agent group across the country, so we're going nationwide with that. We have created with the agents in my group. I have this incredible individual. His name's Bob Mangold, and he's a tech savvy guy and he's brilliant. And he's helped us create some of the most powerful real estate platforms that I have seen. And I mean coast to coast because I have traveled this country. I've mentored, I've worked with investors. I had a partner, we worked for a national seminar company. We used to do presentations with hundreds of people in the room. They were all real estate investors. And there was always technology, but nothing like we have. And that's really magic when it comes to the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you talk about that a little bit more and how it sets you apart?
Absolutely. One of the things, so whether I'm doing commercial or residential, Um, I have a few platforms that we utilize for that. One of them is my online transparent offer platform, and that one is a key. That's a key. That's my golden nugget, if you will. That one it takes my business to the next level. When I started to implement that, I could really focus on controlling what I do and who I do it with. Right? You don't want to do deals out of desperation. You want to make sure that your pipeline's full, right? So you're always doing deals, but you can pick. So I like to cherry pick. That's what I say, right? I'm going to cherry pick the best deals because now I have the resources, I have the experience, and I also have the platforms. And that one is laser focused for me because it's huge. It gives the clients everything they want. It's basically generated to create a quick sale and provide the highest sale price for the customer. And the transparency is key for all parties, not just the seller, but for the buyers. No more blind bid situations. And the investors love it because if they're doing a flip and they want us to sell that property, we can have it sold in 10 to 14 days with the absolute highest price.
That's really awesome. How do you balance, all those moving parts, your group of agents, this transparency program that you offer, and then, any deals you're working on. What's that like?
Well, you got to have the right people in place. The people you can rely on, of course, as you probably know, having that reliability is huge. Bob is a huge part of that because Bob, with the creation of the technology and the platforms, he handles most of that for us, which is just a huge benefit for us because, as an individual, I can focus on what I need to do on the business, and then I've got the support where I need it.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So, and then you have to have your other people in place, right? We're constantly bringing on admins and assistants. And again, the agents, I'm expanding. We're looking for agents all over the country. And that I think is going to be, if we can offer them what we have, I can guarantee you when we talk to agents or interview them, 99% of them are just blown away because they've never seen anything like it in the industry. So if you have an offer platform that has an auction style and bidding process, but a traditional real estate sale, they're like, what is that and how does that work? And then when we show them the results, the process and results, they're just immediately want to jump on board with it because they can see how they can fine tune their business, right? So they can have a pipeline full of deals, whether you're an investor, an agent, or a wholesaler, and refine your business, right? Because for me, it was time. I wanted to get time back. I didn't want to work 7 days a week, for the rest of my life. And that's huge because now I have a set schedule. I have everybody in place and I can run my life and my business. And it takes a lot of stress off your shoulders. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely. With that platform and, what you're doing, you work with investors a lot. Joe, what's one trend in the space that you think investors need to pay attention to?
Boy, some of the trends I'm looking at, I mean, here's something that I think a lot of them are missing. And so I'm glad you brought that up. I'm working on a deal right now for an investor. And they're not paying attention to, a lot of them do, but a lot of them are missing still the assumable mortgage with the lower interest rate because they're walking away from deals and they're not, with not having the understanding of they can actually make some numbers work if they have the right deal in place. But a lot of that comes down to how it was presented and who's presenting it, right? If an agent is selling something that doesn't have a lot of investment knowledge, they might not know to look that far into that deal. So financing would be key right now. A lot of our investors, of course, they pay cash, whether it's residential or commercial. So we have all shapes and sizes, if you will, meaning dollar amount and what they're willing to get involved with. So we have to that. I've a year and a half ago became licensed as an MO, and we brought that in house. So now we have in house lending. And I have a whole slew of private lenders too for investors if they need that, because lending side's huge. And the biggest issue that I see or the complaint that I hear the most, not only from my investors, but from other investors, is the financing seems to fall apart quite a bit on some of these deals. And that's the biggest reason I brought this in-house because now I can follow that application from start to finish. I know exactly where it's at. And and that's again, streamlining and efficiency is huge, especially when it comes to the investments, because a lot of times time is of the essence, right? They need to get
Mhm.
it done quick, and whoever's selling that property might need to get out of there immediately. So I would say pay attention to the financing part if that's what you're really involved in.
Yeah, that's really clever that you're doing that. Have you found any tools or tech that help you with that financing?
Absolutely. Tons of different programs. And of course, as a mortgage broker, we get to reach out to the several different sources. And we've been able to even refi and cashing out, do a cash out refi for an investor that's looking to, keep that money moving, so to speak, right? A good investor is always focused on the velocity of money. They want to make sure that money's continually working for them. I mean, if you have a home that's paid off, that's debt equity, right? You might be making some rental income on it, but how could you double and triple that, by utilizing and leveraging that property? So we help and educate them on that. And one of the ways that we help them get there is through some of the other platforms that I have. So we can structure plans for our investors that do have financing on properties, and I'll build out a plan for them and show them how to pay off a 30-year mortgage in 10 to 12 years. And that's through my Equity Max platform. That way, if they buy an investment property and let's say they put a 5-year plan in place, or even 3 years, they might buy down that principal enough to where they have enough equity to pull some more money back out and then go grab another property. So again, that velocity of money, right? We want to keep that investment moving for them, and with the right knowledge and the right training for the investor, they can do that. They can execute their goals, and we're right there with them through the whole process. And I think that's really what they like the most, is because they can rely on me to be able to guide them through that.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And speaking of, guiding these investors, do you maybe have, what I would call a war story? Maybe a deal went sideways with an investor or you had to pivot fast with what you were doing. What happened and how'd you learn from that?
That's a great question. And that's happened more than once, of course, over the years. So, and it most of the time does come down to financing, right? Especially if you have multiple properties or you're working more in a multi-family, like a commercial type financing. We've had to do some stutter stepping a few times and make some quick moves. And that's really where we learned from that, right? How to position assets, how to present the deal properly to the seller so we can maybe get a little creative with the deal to assist with the financing. So going back to restructure a deal is never a good thing, but if you can save it, it is, right? So that's where that knowledge comes in, is you learn from those issues that you have. And, just doing those so many times, that's the part where I'm always trying to, open up that next door. Let's fix that problem. Let's make it a little more efficient or get us another resource. So that's why I have my hands on everybody, whether it's a handyman, a contractor, an attorney, a private lender. I've had to bring in private lenders at the 11th hour, literally days before the closing table, and cover a little bit of the deal in order to get it to close. And it might cost the investor a little bit of money, but they're not losing the deal either. So that's where we get a little bit creative. And everyone's
Yeah.
different. Every one of those single deals are different, right?
Yeah, and it's good that you have those relationships with everyone that you can, bring them in at the right time.
Absolutely.
For you, Joe, what's been the biggest difference maker with building those relationships? As I'm sure you know, networking is huge, and we have a lot of listeners who, are looking to level up. What kind of advice would you give?
Um, you know what? For me, what worked for me is staying consistent was those resources. So the group of agents that I work with, and Bob really put all that together. He's the one that, I had a relationship with him before we actually really started to work together. But he's been in the industry longer than I have. So, he's been around a long time, very successful. The man's done just, he used to own mortgage brokerages and real estate companies. and he's a success story all on his own. But he really helped me pay attention to my daily processes, right? Accountability, how to stay focused on your business, how to build a proper business plan. He's helped us with a lot of that. And that's why I say with what we have now, with the agents that I bring in, I try to help them with that. Let's start with your business plan. Let's start with that niche. Let's get laser focused and let's build the systems. Let's create consistency. And let's fill your pipeline, increase your revenue, and just change your life. And that's what it's all about, and he's been monumental in my business for that. And we meet every week. I have a meeting with him, online. We do a Zoom meeting every single week, so we stay in touch, and that helps me stay focused. So accountability is huge, really is.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard that a lot on different
Yeah.
podcasts. Joe, what is next on the horizon for you with real estate? You got a vision that you're casting that you could share with us?
I have a few things, yeah, that I'm working on. I think the larger that I get, or the more people that we bring in and get involved, is going to help me expand more. So the first thing would be to expand, throughout the state. If we can do that, we could expand anywhere in the country. Of course, doesn't matter what state it's in. I even have a few contacts now in Canada that we're working with. That's part of our team. And that's huge because again, that's a resource. And over the past, I don't know, 6 to 7 years, we're doing a lot more relocation clients. And I do a lot of investors from out of country, especially with commercial and maybe the luxury market. We opened up some of the luxury doors, and there's some folks that can afford to have a nice, big, beautiful home here, and then maybe one in Paris, France. So I've reached out globally, and I actually have global contacts now that I work with on a regular basis as well. Because one of the things that I've learned is I need to be a resource. I don't care if it's referring a contractor or having a contact in another country. Being a resource for my clients and customers is huge because they know they can turn to me in that need, and that helps keep an ongoing relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And with those plans, are there any challenges that you're foreseeing and you got some plans to tackle that?
Yeah, sure. You got to stay focused yourself, right? Get up and go to work every morning. Although I'm pretty motivated to do that. I like it. I love what I do. I always have. I think that's why I'm still, so heavily involved in it. But, I mean, for myself, it's just, I think it's that attitude of, you wanting to be successful, and I don't mean successful in, it doesn't have to be a dollar amount. It could be, again, for me, it was time was a huge issue. Because you get consumed. This industry can consume you. So I mean, you can do $100,000 a year, you can do $1 million a year. I mean, if that's your goal, that's fine, go after it. But if it's time, if it's family, whatever that might be, that's where you need to put your focus and just have the right support system with you. And that's why I love where I'm at and working with Bob and Robert and Ryan and just a few other of the close contacts that we touch base with every week. That's a huge support system, and it's kept me laser focused, and it's changed my business over the past 5 to 6 years, immensely, really.
That is awesome. And with your enthusiasm, it really shows. Joe, before we let you go, if someone wants to connect with you, learn more about your approach with deals, or, maybe they're an investor and they need help with something, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Absolutely. And you know what? Even if it's not here in the state, I have people everywhere. I always have a resource for them. So they can call me direct. I can give you my email. They can go to the business website if they like. I can put a few of those out there for you. My direct line is 248-955-2802. They can email me direct. I have an old email that I use specifically for that, sold by Joe at live.com. A little cheesy, but everyone can remember it. Sold by Joe, SOLDBYJOE at live.com, LIVE.com. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. A call, a text, an email, and then I can send out any kind of information they're looking for, whether they want to visit the websites, if they want to see my platforms, whether it's an agent or a customer/investor. We send all that information out for them. So I'm willing to put it all out there for anybody that's looking.
Awesome. Joe, thanks so much for dropping all this knowledge today. I just love your hustle, and I think our listeners will too.
That's awesome. Thank you for having me, Erica.
It was a real pleasure. And for our listeners, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pro Show. We've got more conversations lined up with pros like Joe who are building incredible real estate empires. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.